Me, I go tell you little something about white history. Say how they condemn us throughout slavery. They say we were black and very ugly. I lie them a telling of them history. Cause black is beautiful, the whole of them agree. They come out of the mountains and mix up with seed. Here we go, my friends, in the black and white history. Yeah, it's black, black, black. It's white, 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 but let me tell a story. Yes, it's black, black, it's white, white, but let me tell the story. May I will tell you a little truth about the black histories for the people who can hear and those who can see. We're the first to come up with anatomy, to analyze the truth about the way body. We're the first to come up with biology, to analyze the lives in the society. We're the first to come up with Egyptology, to construct the pyramids that you see. We're the first to come up with psychology, to analyze the minds in the vicinity. We're the first to come up with musicology, to put the rhythm on your soul and make it rock steady. Correction, my friends, with the black and white history. Yeah, it's black, 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 it's white, 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 but let me tell the story. Yes, it's black, 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 it's white, 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 but let me tell the story. Black and white story in my mind. Oh yeah, say we have to analyze it. Black and white story in my mind, in my mind, in my mind. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Black and white story in my mind. Oh yeah, say we have to analyze it. May I go tell you a little something about white history. Say how they condemn us throughout slavery. They say we were black and very ugly. I lie them and tell enough of them history. Cause black is beautiful, the whole of them agree. They come out of the mountains and mix up the sea. Here we go, my friends, in the black and white history. Yeah, it's black, 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 it's white, 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 but let me tell the story. Yes, it's black, black, it's white, white, but let me tell the story. May I will tell you a little truth about the black history. It's for the people who can hear and those who can see. We're the first to come up with anatomy, to analyze the truth about the way body. We're the first to come up with biology, to analyze the life in our society. We're the first to come up with Egyptology, to construct the pyramids that you see. We're the first to come up with psychology, to analyze the minds in the vicinity. We're the first to come up with musicology, to put the rhythm on your soul and in my mind.
Yep. Oh, there we go again with the technical difficulties, but it's all good, family. It's all good, family. It's all good. Of course, my voice is a little shot because we just did 2-hour show before this. But hey, got to give a round of applause. Oh man! So this is the show for tonight. It is now 8:53 in Florida, in sunny Florida. It's nighttime actually, but 53 minutes after the hour. And at 9 o'clock, we have our guest coming up. Want to big up some of the sponsors, of course, that helps the show out and keep it moving. Of course, next we have coming up tomorrow, I will be on this show on Happy Films on YouTube and on Facebook. I want to big them up, of course, with Felicia, Sister Felicia Harden and Taki Grant, of course, and the whole crew over there at Happy. Give them a round of applause. And in the month of February, we're going to have Dr. Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, the Book of Khalid. I've been reading that book, and man, woo, it is something else. Give that a round of applause. And I want to thank everybody for helping me to sell this book and this book and this book and this book, all available on Amazon, of course. and through my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. So if you want any of those books that I just showed you, you can get them on Amazon and through kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. If you want to get the orgasmic experience from my dear partner in Vibes, the one, the only Empress Aisha Moore, you can get her earrings, man. Go DM her at 1million_adornments. One day I'm going to tell her to get a business phone line so people could call, because some people don't have Instagram. Some people don't want to go to Instagram. And if she get a Google phone line, she could have a Google phone line, and boom, bang, she could have her numbers right up here on there too. You know what I'm saying? Also, big up to Janelle Lewis. Janelle Lewis provides some great real estate consultations, and she helps you to find your own property, your own land, whatever you want. She can hook you up. Give her a round of applause also. Yeah. And of course, the partner in Vibe, me and her, she's coming up momentarily. She'll be up there with us right there. So look out for that. She's coming up. Also, big up to Lloyd Strayhorn, who was on the last broadcast. Make sure you go and learn his classes. Take 2 of his classes. He got this the last night for the deal. Go to lloyd-strayhorn.com. Of course, my classes is coming up. Also, the Numerovation, holistic Numerovation course. That's right. It's going to be ballistic, I'm telling you. So, hey, it is what it is. And of course, remember, content disclaimer: the views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Yeah, big up to that also. Yeah, why not? We can big that up. Why not? And let's go to pedalwise.com. Pedalwise.com is on and popping. And when I say they on and popping, they even got a deal for y'all using my coupon code. My coupon code is KING2021. So go to pedalwise.com. You can get the antiviral mix. You can get the stuff for womb cleansing. You can get the stuff for fibroid for ladies. She definitely directs a lot of her information to ladies, but she got some stuff up there for men for their health also. Prostate health. Also, she does prostate acupuncture. Yeah, she does acupuncture for the prostate, acupuncture for fibroids. So, and acupuncture for mental health, but the person have to be at least mentally stable to want to do that. So you can go to www.pedalwise.com, hit her up, give her a round of applause also. Yeah. And those who want to do a Numerovation session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And if you live outside of the United States, please use WhatsApp. If you live outside of the United States, please use WhatsApp. Give that a round of applause also. All right. It is now 58 minutes. I want to bring on my co-host. See where she's at. Let's bring on my co-host, see where she's at. Let me come inside here first. All right. Yeah, I'm here. What's up, family? Yeah, it's me. Yeah, I'm back in another shirt, a different shirt this time. Drinking my tea. Mm-hmm. Yeah, drinking my tea, getting ready. You better get yourself together, girl. What's up? I see you. What's it? You gotta. You hear me? Oh yeah, you need headphones or something. But again, we had a great show with Queen of Four. Queen of Four showed up and showed out. Of course, Lloyd Strayhorn showed up and showed out. Malika Ali showed up and showed out. Mama Ella showed in and showed out. Joshua Sarah showed up and showed out. Sister California showed up and showed out. Moncho and Washa showed in and showed out. And of course, y'all came and showed out in the last show. So we're going to have it going. We're going to get ready to go. Let me bring on my guest before I bring on my guest. So she better be ready. So I'm ready to put her on and make sure everything is vibe. Let's welcome out the partner in Vibe, the one, the only Empress Aisha Moore in the building. As we welcome her on, take yourself off of mute. We're coming in hot. Take yourself off of mute. What's up? Peace. I can't hear you. Where you at? You probably put on that headphone and it didn't work. What's up here? What's up with your headphone? No technical difficulties now. I can't hear you. I'm good. I can't hear you. Let me see. Let's.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. There you go. I hear you now. I hear you now.
You know what? I have a new mic, and I was trying to connect it, and it's giving me a hard time. So this is my trying to work it out.
You gotta, don't worry. Take your time. Take your time. You're gonna have to do that on the personal time. You got to do that.
Early on my other computer, but this laptop is giving me a whole different energy.
yeah, definitely. Everything is good. How you doing? Everything all right?
Yes.
Good. We got Yendys in the background ready to come up. Priestess Yendys ready to come up. So we want to make sure that this sister has been on the show before. And of course, I want to show her love, because if you want to get information about all the things that she do in New York City and around the world, you can text her at 347-635-3676. Email her at yendys@yahoo. Her online store and shop is www.shopancientblends.com. And her other website is charleschild.com, and her Instagram is Ancient Blends ApotheCare, _care, and her Cash App is $Yendys Nefer-Atum. Now, this sister is not only an extraordinary holistic teacher, but she has been doing her own business for over 30 years, supported her family and everything and what she does. She's not only a student of Dr. Africa, Queen of Four, Baba Hebrew, and various other people, but she is a student of life from out of the great place called Barbados. Big up to her all the time. Let's give her a well-deserved round of applause, the one, the only Yendys Nefer-Atum, Priestess Yendys Nefer-Atum. Let's show that respect. Yes, my sister. Yes. Light, love, and light all day, every day. How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm here. I wasn't supposed to be in the before segment because I was going to be here. So I give thanks. It was a beautiful, beautiful segment, even though I didn't have my light. First of all, you seeing me okay?
Yeah, I'm seeing you perfect.
Thank you. I guess I wasn't supposed to use the other light, but I am here. To our intern, thank you for having me on. Greetings, Empress. Greetings.
Greetings. Well, first and foremost, want to thank you as usual. You come on with your majesty, and you are a priestess on the highest level. Enough respect for you. I've noticed you for probably over 25 years while we was at the African Arts Festival. On and out, always shy to walk up on you because you were just such a beautiful energy. Always shy. So I'm probably just walk in the crowd and say, "Let me get your card, please." Your card. And I'm not a shy person, but I was shy. And sometimes men can get intimidated by very beautiful women, and you was definitely shining in those places. And the way you carried yourself, the way you humbled yourself and did what you got. So enough honor and respect to you for all these years that I've seen you and known you. And of course, you being with Baba, studying under Baba Heru, Queen of Four, and all the rest, and Dr. Laila Africa. We're going to touch on that because we didn't get to touch on that.
Yes. I would love to take this time to honor my great Baba, my great elder, Dr. Laila Africa. And like so many before me commented tonight, he was such a personable person, such a personable teacher. One of the things that I remember most sitting in Dr. Africa's, in his sessions at LIU in Brooklyn years ago, his teaching style, he wanted us to, he beckoned us to listen more than we were writing. A lot of times, we're so busy taking notes, we're focusing on what to write, translating what's being said. But he wanted us to listen to him because he had these Xerox copies ready for us. So he just wanted us to take it in so that we would know. The way he taught, it was like he was downloading into us. And then we have the paperwork, the Xerox copies later on to go ahead and, put your yellow, your highlighters or what have you on it. But so I wasn't always the best note taker, but I'm a great listener. So I was happy that he said, just listen. So listen, like I'm speaking to you, like I'm speaking it into your soul, into your cells. And that's the way I learned from him. And we have, different types of learners. And you definitely, part of his book is learning what type of a learner are you as well. You're a visual learner, are you an audio learner, or is it you have to touch? Also, he stressed that taking his tests, his exams to be certified had a lot more to do with actually knowing the work and taking care of yourself, having healed yourself coming through his sessions, his tutelage, than to get hundreds or high marks on his exams. So part of the practical application was we had to do assessments on ourselves weekly. And he said those assessments on ourselves, they better be getting better from the day one, the first week, to that last week, to that certification, or else you could have been getting hundreds all the way along. He wasn't really, seeing it. You'll get your certification, but did you heal yourself in this process? Did you put more stress on learning how to heal other people and just skipped yourself? And so I took that to heart. He drove that home for me. Heal thyself. It's like when they tell you on the airplane, you put your oxygen mask on first. Put on your children, your child, the baby, the person next to you. You check for you first. And that's been my foundation, taking care of myself first. Whatever I need to do in order to do that, me first. And then I have quality to give to other people. I cannot give to other people if I don't have it for myself. You can't pour from an empty vessel. Another thing, I had the privilege, like Malika, I had the privilege of having Doc come into my home. And how amazing that is to have your teacher in your home. You're just like a giddy little kid. And it was one of my assessments that I wasn't sure of. And because he was in the neighborhood, he was staying at the bed and breakfast right next door to where I lived in Crown at the time. So he came over and he said, let me see what you got going on. He said, you just probably just trying to waste my time. You just, because I know this stuff, Yendys. I kind of sort of do, but you want to get it from your teacher. You want that stamp of approval, even though yourself. And to get Doc's stamp of approval, it just means everything. It's gold. It's a treasure. You know what I mean? To this day. So he looked at my paperwork and he said, damn it, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. So he gave me a really good grade of approval. What stuck out, I have two of his books. He laughed when he saw this one. He laughed when he saw this one.
Wow.
So I ended up getting another one.
Yes. Wow, and look at that.
Enough, just to kind of tell a little bit of my personal business. The brother who actually did the illustration was my partner at the time this was being done. So history there too. So
would you like to shout him out or no?
King Simon.
I'm just saying, hey.
Brother Mashindo, he is
there we go.
Inside in the illustrations, of phenomenal artist. He's also the person responsible for the illustration, my flyers, the image, the pencil drawing image of me for like over 3 decades. That his artwork has graced my business.
It's not on that one. It's not on that
one. This is a whole new. It's a whole new chapter.
Yeah, you got a whole new vibe. Yeah,
a whole new
chapter. Right.
Yes, my brother was definitely had a hand in the advertisement and the cover of this book right here. And what I used in my business, how it touched me. If you see this clearly, the part with the head. Because I am a natural hair care professional, a holistic hair care professional, that segment means so much to me because I was able to, based on where folks were having challenges with growing hair, whether it was the back, the middle, the top, sides, Doc gave us the outline of what organ internally, these areas, these quadrants of the head, is a roadmap on the outside to what's going on the inside of the body. So I would be able to diagnose. I've been able to diagnose my clients and help them with stimulating organs or cleansing or strengthening, so this has been key for me. It's been major. When I heard the news about the doc March 21st last year, I felt like I was immediately drawn into a moving meditation the entire day. And I felt like I had instantly plugged deeper into him because, the Batman signal that goes out, I felt like when he walked out off this physical plane and walked into the ancestral realm, he sent out a Dr. Africa healing beam. And those of us who had been in touch with him, it's like we became even more magnetized. He just really downloaded so much into us. If we didn't allow fear to take that from us, that we were going to be like the superheroes on this planet right now with what he infused in us. And I, for one, became so non-afraid of what they were saying was going on. It's just arm yourself with information, know what to do, go inside. You have the information. Doc is one of his shoulders are just a set of the shoulders that I stand on with what I do with holistic wellness for myself, for my family, and for anybody that come in touch with me via my products, via my store or my hair care. So just beautiful shout out to Dr. Laila Africa and his wife, Sister Melanie Stevens. When I met her, it was like, oh my gosh, I felt like the community had a little sister. We had a little sister, a big sister, this beautiful feminine energy rocking with Doc, because, for years, we saw him, coming and teaching, and me personally, I just saw him when I came on the scene. But then when he came with Sister Melanie, it just brought a beautiful balance. And the two of them were so personable. And one last piece, I remember one segment in his one of his sessions, someone coughed in the back of the room, like way up. We were in LIU, and the way the seats, like the auditorium seats, go up. And someone in the back coughed. And from the front of the room by the chalkboard, Doc immediately went into diagnosing the cough and telling her what was going on with her. And I remember him saying that that cough let him know that she was living too far in her masculine side. And that was throwing off a lot of her feminine energy, her feminine healing energy, her feminine powers. She was living too far over. So she needed to bring herself back into balance just from the cough. He wasn't anywhere near her. There were rows and rows and rows and rows of people between them. But I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. Yes. So how he has transfused the teaching and put it into a practical application in my store is I'm only seeing eyes now. We're only seeing eyes because the mask, and I'm seeing hands because I'm issuing hand sanitizer every day, all day. And so I'm reading palms, I'm looking in eyes, and I'm able to diagnose people on the spot. And sometimes they act, sometimes they don't. And sometimes I get a little nudge, tell them what's going on. This person is like close to having a doctor tell them something. So I'll get a little nudge. Maybe that's Doc. Here's one of my answers, and tell them what's going on. And I will find the most gentlest way, because you don't want to scare people. Like, how does she know that? And I would tell them what is being downloaded based on looking at their eyes or looking at their hands. And they would confirm. They would give a confirmation, like, how? And then I would start, and then I would just instantly start giving them the protocol, whether it's in my store or whether it's even contact you. I've been giving, people your information, you need to talk to this brother because so-and-so is going on. He can point you based on the numbers, or, my sister's down the street on Tompkins Avenue, go here, go there. Yeah. So shout out to Dr.
Thank you. Let's shout him out. Let's shout him out. Like he said on this flyer, it's the quality of life that matters, not the quantity. Dr. Layla Africa, may he rest in forever eternal peace of what he done. All his books is on. I'm going to just show his website before we get into your interview. Let me just show his website here. And his website, support the Dr. Africa's legacy and his beloved wife via website www.laylaafrica.com. PayPal, use the Dr. Melanie 16 at Yahoo, and of course Cash App, that's $CharlesChild. Please show that love, show that respect to the Baba and his family and all of his family, because he still has grandchildren, he still has people that he still quite take care of. And Doc was that person, but the sound is even better. The sound is even better. So I want to make sure I respect that, sister. I put it up in the chat, people. This is the link to the chat to watch it on YouTube, and y'all can watch it yourself. I would show the visual, but like I said, it's so you gotta the visuals and the sound. It just makes sense. It don't make sense. I'm watching it here laughing at, oh, how it sounds so good, like I did with the Dr. Africa video. I'm here laughing at all his stuff, and nobody can hear it. It don't make no damn sense. So just Empress, just tell us about shooting that video, what that was about before they go and watch it themselves. Okay, please.
Okay. Well, the young lady, her name is Kiana, and she's like early 20s, and she's in college, and she had to do this video as something for school. And we did 3 days of shooting, maybe 3 to 4 hours per day over time, over about a month, a couple of weeks. And she did such a beautiful job of making me comfortable, because I'm camera shy, right, King Simon? I'm camera shy. And but she did a beautiful job. I was really comfortable. Sometimes in life, someone comes along that really is the one to tell your story. It's not always, the big names and things like that to tell your story. Is I've had other opportunities, and this is where it landed in her lap. And her professor, she got a really high grade on it. And her professor told her it was so good, and she has enough footage to put together like an hour documentary and submit it to PBS. So fingers crossed that's where if this is where it's going, supposed to be going for, worldwide viewing. Ashe to that, and just love and light to the young sister to be one of our directors and producers coming up, telling our story, someone who's doing such beautiful work. So basically, it talks about, she asks questions about how did we manage to keep this brick and mortar store going during this pandemic. We got the news to close March 23rd, close our doors with everyone else, all the other businesses, except who they deemed essential businesses. I filled out the applications online for essential business status, but we were not accepted, but the liquor store was. And go figure. But I feel like I have been rehearsing for over 30 years for this 1 year of this pandemic, of running a brick and mortar store during this time, a place where people would feel like a sacred space was being held for them, where they could come in and feel safe, and feel like they were in a temple. With everything that was going on outside, they felt like there was somebody they can trust. There were products that brought them back to center. What I mentioned before was I was doing healing. I was doing healing work, and healing work isn't always that you announce that you're doing healing work, that you say, okay, now I'm going to heal you. That's not all of it. It's allowing an individual to feel comfort in your presence, to validate them, to listen to them. If they tell you that they were afraid of something, not to belittle their fear, but also to give them something that they can hold on to, something that will encourage them to not be so fearful. I noticed a lot of people came to me with eczema All of this is what we talked about in the film, like how were you helping people that came in during the pandemic? What was that like? So what it was like was people coming in asking, well, do you have anything for eczema? And then I'll say, well, before we get to what you can put on your skin topically for eczema, do you know eczema originates in your stomach? Do you know that one of the big components of eczema is fear? So you're afraid. It's okay. There's a fearful situation. There's some unknown going on. So naturally, it's a fear, a worry, a concern. So that's stimulating your liver, because eczema, the skin, the body creating a shield. Eczema is, if you see it, it's like a crustation or crusting over of a thicker skin that is itchy. It's pus filled. It's like liquid, but it's a protective armor for the skin. When the body feels like it needs to protect itself, it's afraid of something. So there was something out there, something unknown. And then that started the enzymes in the body going that wanted to immediately put up a shield. So what I talked to them about, not necessarily ignoring the fear, but allowing the fear to guide you inward, allowing your fear to guide you inside yourself, to ask for answers, to listen to yourself, unplug a little bit from what you're being told, because a lot of times you're being told what to be afraid of, but your higher self, will guide you to navigate you, your intuition, or your numbers, your astrology sign, all the components that you came with when you incarnated. So I talked about how people coming in every weekend, because we became a weekend store after closing for about 6 weeks from March to the end of May. How was I able to get people to feel more reassured? Coming in every weekend, seeing me, listening to what I was doing for myself to stay healthy. Remember, me first. What am I doing? How come you don't seem like you're afraid? I'm not afraid because I incarnated here for a reason. I had teachers like Dr. Laila Africa, Queen Afua, Ankara Samaj, so many others. And then myself, trusting in an inner knowing that you know things also. These other teachers serve as confirmation sometimes. And if you don't know, you learn a new path, you learn a new way from them. So I created safety. I created a community, an environment for safety in the community. That's what Ancient Blends ApotheCare is doing. And because of the things that I was saying and showing them and pointing out to them, they wanted to buy the product, because the products came like anointing tools. Whether you put it in your hair, whether it's a brother putting it on his beard, a butter, an oil, bathing with the wash that's also a shampoo, they started to feel like, oh, let me get this butter. I know it's infused with all this goodness that she's telling me, and this is going to help me to feel better, because when I'm in this store, I immediately feel better. Another thing that I saw and I spoke about in the video was, once I shared, I welcome people in and asked them, may I share our hand sanitizer with you? The hand sanitizer was specifically created for strengthening the upper respiratory. So I invite you to rub it around your hands, because it's not stripping. It's balanced with oil and alcohol, as well as the cleaning agents. So after you moisturize your hands and notice that your hands don't feel like your cuticles are going to get ready to bleed, which a lot of people complain to me, the alcohol was stripping their hands, drying it out. I invite you to inhale, cup your hands and inhale, whether you feel safe enough inside to slip down your mask a little bit and inhale, or whether you sniffed it through the mask. Each time you do that, when you go home, you take off your mask, you put some on your hands and you inhale, it's strengthening. It's helping you to breathe a little deeper, because we have to keep our lungs strengthened. But what I was noticing when I offered them to put it in their hands, the hands was doing this a lot. I see like a lot. I can't even say the percentage of the shaking of the hands. I learned from Dr. Africa. That speaks to a certain level of nerve damage. Nerves all over, from the head to the toe. So then you're looking at people are doing coffee and hot chocolate and sodas and other caffeine forming products, creating, that anxiety and just pushing the nervous tension even more. I noticed that people, from not really breathing deeply, it seemed like it started to kind of make their brains cloudy. So they're not even really like rationalizing simple things in the store. Like I would have to guide people almost like they had become children again, guide these adults. And I started to get the download. My guides were telling me, this is coffee, this is fear, this is a lack of water. No, all of the news outlets and everything that people are listening to, there's not a lot that's saying how to take care of yourself. How they're not breaking down how you eat, how you drink, how much water. They're just saying, do this and do all these other things outside of. So I have these one-on-one, or depending on how many people are in the store, 3 people, I would start talking to one, but then it would open up and it would just, the conversation would just include everyone who was in the store. And so I'm giving the healing information. I'm telling them to ease off of this, drink that, eat less of this, eat more of this. This is where you find this when you're outside. Go outside and open your palms on a sunny day, because we take in that vitamin E through the palms of our hands fastest and process it through the other.
Yendys, your voice is being choppy. There's something going on. There's a choppy going on. I know Mercury is in retrograde, or we're in the shadow days, but it's kind of choppy. Hold on, let me remove you quick and then put you back on. Hold on 1 second, okay? Let me just try something. Let me get her back in. And all right, let me hear you again. Come talk to me again.
Okay, how about now? I didn't do anything different. Is it better?
Much better. Yeah. You was kind of choppy doing what you were saying, so you didn't have to repeat a few little things.
Okay.
But people was actually in the chat saying it.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I tell them about, like, the outlets are not telling people how to take care of themselves, like the vitamin C or the vitamin D3. Just what to do for yourself. Do less of this and eat more of that and drink more of this. They just weren't getting that information. So I've been giving that information daily, weekly, every weekend, whether it's groups of 3s or 4s. My store is big enough that I can hold about 6 people comfortably with the social distance. And speaking of social distance, another thing that I made big is I explain what the 6-foot distance is all about. That is basically the part of your aura that we deal with. 6 feet on the sides of you, both sides, 6 feet above you, 6 feet below and in front and behind you. So that's your auric field. If you can think about being in a bubble that's 6 feet wide, I'm not sure who came up with that, but somebody knows something about auras. And I've been teaching people to keep that space clean, keep it as purified as possible. Things like dragon blood sage, or, making sure that you take spiritual baths, making sure that you use your aura cleansers to clear your aura, Palo Santo, and things like that. And I make, special blends in the store that you can use to purify, specifically for purifying your auric field, because you get sick first inside that social distance area. In that 6 feet area, you get sick in there first before it actually manifests in your physical body, because it comes from out, and your thoughts. Fear is the magnet. It is the magnet for bringing that into your auric field and then attaching it to your body like a magnet. So you want to keep that area clean, as well as you're taking baths to wash your body. It's just as important to clean your external body. So I talk a lot about how I became so sure about my path. Brother King Simon was very instrumental in helping me with my focus even more towards numerology. I had some basic knowledge of numerology, but it wasn't until I really started spending more time with Brother King Simon be talking on the phone or meeting in person. And he just started to help me, show me how to really rock the numbers that were around me, to learn more about myself or the situations that I was in or had attracted to myself. And it's about trusting and knowing that we did come with a manual. The manual is the numbers that were present when you took your first inhalation on this planet, whether it's the time of birth, whether it's the calculation of your name, your family name, where you were born. All of these things are your part of your manual, and it can help you figure out your incarnation objection, why you were here. I happen to learn that I'm a number 3 life path, like Dr. Africa as well. Yes. And I think my first interaction with you, going back, King Simon, I was in a home that added up to a number 5. It was 77.
Right. Yes, it was
5. And then there were 2 other components in that situation that were 5s, 14-5 and 23-5. And it was quite a soup. It was
because that was your challenge number. That's right. One of your challenges.
It was a very challenging time. But what I've learned, hindsight, looking back, I've learned that depending on how you navigate these challenges, that they can be the thing that's super empowering, that really give you your superpowers.
And that's what I tell people. The challenges usually appear either challenge you to be your best or your worst. It depends on how you handle the challenge.
I feel definitely empowered, and you were extremely instrumental. Your work, your books, being in my ear. And it's about, if you have a good guide or some guides that you see, you trust the people that you see doing the work. You don't really trust the people that are just telling you stuff and you don't see them doing the work, because then they don't really have to tell you. You just watch what you're doing. Kind of like the way that I taught my children, not by you do this, you do that, you do that, but being consistent in what I was doing, no matter the adversities and the challenges, just being consistent in what I was doing and letting them watch and see how that worked for me. If it doesn't work for me, then I don't expect them to be following in my footsteps if it's not working.
That's right. That's right. So I know Sister Empress Aisha wanted to ask you a question. Please, Empress, give her a question to share with the audience.
I really want to know, what is the importance of spiritual baths?
Oh, okay. Okay, great question. I took one this evening, and because interestingly, I'm going to give you some reference and then come right back to it. Interestingly enough, I am guided by my higher self, my highly evolved self, my ancestors. I paid keen attention to what's I'm being given by my first eye, which I wholeheartedly know it's my first eye, not my third eye. The physical eyes are 1 and 2. So I go into the bath. I know I'm supposed to take a spiritual bath to prepare for this evening. I've been told by them that I should wear more black, because anyone who knows me know that I usually wear a lot of color. And so the guidance is, at this time of the year, it's time to be in. There's a lot going on out there, and my energy needs to be more in. I need to absorb and cover and keep what I have for myself, not be expending my energy. So the bath was also to ground me a little bit more and to help me focus with what I'm going to do here this evening. The day was filled with shipping packages, getting people's orders ready. Spiritual bath helps to clean the outside, that aura that I just spoke about, your aura. It also helps to ground you and put you in direct focus and alignment, so that your spirit guides, your ancestors can commune with you, because that water, you can do spiritual baths with different things. It could be smoke, it could be air, from the incense, clapping. It can be just submerging yourself in water from head to toe. Mine happens to be in water. And then there are essential oils, or flowers, or oils, and candles, or music, sound vibrations. Sound vibration is also a way to do a spiritual bath as well. So water, I hear messages through the water, whether it's the shower, and it's not like a voice talking. It's more like it is your higher self. It is downloads coming through the electromagnetic energies that are surrounding us. You know, there's so much going on around us that we can't see. So I feel like a spiritual bath is a way to get you to focus in and become aligned and to clear off anything that is stagnated, anything that's inhibiting you from receiving what you need to receive. And so going into a portal, so to speak. So when you get into the water, you submerge yourself and you sit back and you listen and you just tune out everything that's going on outside, all the news, anything anybody's told you, and you're going to hear what you're supposed to hear. Well, I didn't hear, but I saw. When I tried to come on the live earlier, I am usually ready, but I wasn't ready, or at least I thought I wasn't ready because I didn't have the physical light. I wasn't supposed to have that particular light on me. I found another light to be ready for this time, but I wasn't supposed to be there at that time. And we have to trust that and not be frantic and tear up the house. And I didn't tear up the house or anything like that. I just listened like inward, like, okay, I'm not supposed to be there, but I'm going to be on at 9 o'clock and I'll find another light in the house and I'll be good. So the spiritual bath is a readiness, readying yourself. It's a preparedness. Bodies are washed sometimes in like different cultures. That's a form of a spiritual bath, to wash them and anoint them and clothe them before they, make their journey on into the ancestral realm. So I hope in all of that you were able to pull out some of the understanding.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was able to, because you know what? Most of the time, we just jump in the shower, we just jump in the tub with some soap and water, and we just play a little music, and we just be chilling. So to just know the importance and significance of taking a spiritual bath is good, because a lot of times we just don't feel like it would make a big difference in our, in our world.
It makes a big difference to practice, to have a spiritual practice. We know that we're spirits having a physical or human experience. But a lot of times, I feel like most of the time that people are just really busy being human. And like, where is the time for that spirit to manifest? What would the spirit be doing in certain situations if the physical or the human just stepped back a little bit? And so for the past couple of years, I've been practicing and in different times of my life, not just the past couple of years, at different points, I've practiced stepping back and allowing spirit to live and let the human just observe,
That's pretty good. Thank you so much for answering that. Queen Simon, do you mind if I ask another question real quick?
Yeah, do your thing.
Okay, I love plants, and I know that you have so many plants around you. And what is all that about? Like, what is this in that garden that you have about?
Tell her how many plants you have in your house.
Well, there was a time where I had over 300 plants, and like just in this room alone, I'm sure there are more than 50 plants, and this is just one room in the apartment. So you can imagine, I counted 45 in my bedroom. And the living room behind me, behind the French doors, that has the most plants. I won't even count what's going on in there. But it's about the oxygen. It's about the oxygen. It's about, I'm living within the aura, within an aura. I'm living within plant auras. All these plants get together and create a huge aura that fills this apartment, that cleans the apartment. They give me what I need, and I give them what they thrive off of. What I exhale, they grow from, they thrive from. And what they exhale, that oxygen, that's what I need. So it's a symbiotic relationship. And taking care of my plants is a moving meditation. People say, oh, how long does it take for you to water all those plants? That's not the question. That should never be the question. If that's the question, you're being extremely human. The question is, I don't even know if it's a question. You just do it. Just go into meditation. You know where the water is. You know where the plants are. You know your apartment. Separate the physical from the human and the spirit from the human, and water the plants. Just water the plants, just flow, just look at the plants, tune into the texture, tune into the colors of the plants. They're all completely different colors of green. No two are the same green. Some plant can have about 7 or 8 different shades of green on it. And how do you know this? You tune in, you focus in. So that means that my focus is not on anything else in that time. If it took an hour, if it took 30 minutes, because all the plants have their own schedules, just like people eating. Like, everybody doesn't eat at the same time. You know, you're not all hungry at the same time. We're not all thirsty at the same time. So they'll let me know based on whether they're drooping, leaves are drooping, whether they're turning yellow, they're turning brown, they're looking non-vibrant. And this, you get all of that by being tuned into them, like how you care for a pet or how you care for your hair or a family member or a baby. It's the same thing. You just tune all the way in, disregard everything else for a time. And you say, for 45 minutes, I'm just going to tune in and take care of the needs of these plants, because all day long, they're taking care of my needs. They're providing me with oxygen. When I used to do hair upstairs here in my home, which I haven't done, I started back in November, but I stopped when we were told to quarantine. It wasn't a good idea to bring people into the home until, you really know how to, maneuver and things like that. So this was definitely my safe haven. This is where I was taking my deep breaths. And whenever I walked outside, with the trees and things like that, that's where I'm taking deep breaths, So yes, someone said it's a high frequency garden. Absolutely. This is life. This is life. You don't get more livelier than this. You can't experience depression in here. You can't experience boredom. It just cancels out a lot of those these things that just aren't like upward mode vibrating. It just cannot happen when you surround yourself with plants and you tune into the plants. It cancels out some of the electronic vibrations because they give off a certain type of humidity. A lot of plants together gives off a humidity that's actually even good for our skin as well, because it's like a moisture. The room is not dry. The apartment is not dry. And it's so rewarding when you see plants unfurling a new leaf. It's rewarding because it lets you know that you're doing something right.
That's true. That's true.
Would you like to take a question real quick, Empress?
Sure.
No.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking about Priestess. I'm sorry, Priestess. Priestess. I said Priestess. Well, look here. One person, of course, you are such an inspiration with the plants, and another family member just asked about their snake plant is dying after replanting. What can she do?
The thing with snake plants is they don't require a lot of water. So when we repot the plant, we probably put a lot of water in it to kind of like secure it and make it feel like you could have planted that snake plant, repotted it into the soil and just gave it about a half a cup of water, depending on how big the pot was, and just let it be. Snake plants don't require a lot of light and don't require a lot of water. So anytime I hear that the stalks of the snake plant, the leaves, they turn yellow or brown or start to fall over, that's definitely too much water. So repot it again and be mindful of the amount of water that you're putting in. And they don't need to sit inside the window either, because they don't need that much light. They can sit back about 6, 8 feet, 10 feet away from a window. And they're really good with house lights, overhead lights, fluorescent lights. That's one plant that you should not be able to kill. This is snake plant.
Somebody says sometimes I talk to my plants. How what do you do with it? Can you talk to your plants? What do you feel about that?
Well, it's like being a radio and just talking out loud. You can talk directly to them. Some people name their plants. I don't necessarily name my plants, but I do respect each one of their individualities. I play music, the type of music that I like, I'm sure they like, because that's what they came and found. and they're just always so vibrant and so happy. So, but I say things, I say things like, wow, oh my goodness, your leaves are amazing. Like, wow, congratulations, you're growing roots. Like if I have some or water propagating them, you can cut pieces of your plant to make more, put them in a jar of water, wait about 6 to 8 weeks, and they'll have more roots, and then you can put them in soil. And then you can just make a lot of plants out of one, depending on the type of plants. So talking to the plants, playing music with them, for them, just creating a happy vibe is really good for the plants. I feel that they do pick up on energy. Like if you know that your home, it's cluttered, it doesn't get a lot of light, and you're depressed, you're not really in an upful mood, your plants will pick that up also. It will pick that up, and you'll see the response. You'll see it won't be good. They won't survive. A lot of times when we bring plants home too, this is what I learned. They don't always want to survive in your environment. These are spirits as well. They have their own spirit. Just because you can provide a beautiful home and there may be some kind of vibes, they just don't want to be there. And you'll get a plant that was beautiful in the store and you brought it home, and within a few days, unless you're supposed to repot these plants when you get them from the nursery, they are root bound or pot bound a lot of times, depending on a nursery like Home Depot and stuff like that. You need to repot them, or else you'll see them, passing away.
Wow.
Another person is asking about, what about dropping aloe vera plant? What do you suggest? Thank you.
That's another thing, like the snake plant. You don't need to water aloe a lot, especially during the winter. They don't use the water. When you feel the aloe and it's nice and thick and plump, their leaves, that means it's full of water. If you ever feel and it starts to get a little flat and soft, that means it needs watering. So just always feel them, Like I remember my parents, like back in the day in the West Indies. I don't know, King Simon, if your Jamaican family did this, but they felt your stomach to see if you were hungry. Did they ever do that?
Yeah. And then there's a word they used to say about if your belly start growling, they talk about worms in there.
No,
greedy worms. They used to call it greedy worms.
So you just feel the aloe leaf and you can tell whether it needs to be watered or not. But it sounds like the aloe might have gotten too much water or too much sun. Now, a lot of the plants, we're not getting them out of the rainforest or out of the forest or the jungle. These plants are coming out of factories, basically plant farms, where they're under fluorescent lights. They're not in their natural environment. So when you bring them home, they were in an environment that was created specifically for them. And if you didn't create that specific environment, that same environment, you're going to start to notice changes in the plant as well. They don't being how do you say, they're being grafted to be apartment plants. Like you have dogs that are being grafted to be, purse dogs and not walking and things like that. So they're different from the plants outside that you would bring in. Could you put sea moss in the plant water? I don't think why not. You could do an experiment. It's not something that I've had experience with. I don't find the need to be that, to do that much. Regular water, or sometimes a little fertilizer here and there, depending on the soil you're using. A lot of soil these days come with, fertilizer, time release fertilizer, just add the water. So put in some, I know people put a menstrual cycle in the plant with a little water, place minerals in the plants, you can try. Yeah, there's no, right or wrong. You try it, you see what happens. I've never put any period blood inside the plant, and I haven't had the need to do it.
Somebody says I put them next to each other and they respond. I see them communicate. Now that's a good question. Do plants sometimes respond to other plants, and would they let the other plant know that they don't want to be around that plant? I've
had that experience. I've had that experience. Yes, I I brought in a majestic jade plant. It was majestic. I paid good money for that plant. And I brought that in and I put it in the middle of a lot of other plants that I had before. I thought I found a spot and I thought it would go really, really good there. Within a week, about every morning, there were 10 to 15 leaves on the ground.
Wow.
Yeah. And I immediately, you get this sense like, something is, what's going on. You get a sense if you're open and you're not just outside of yourself, like going to ask for answers. But if you listen in, the room will speak to you. The plants in the room, they'll get a message to you. It'll be a download, and you'll have an insight of what is happening in here. You'll deduce what's happening, and you'll know what to do. What I did is I moved the jade plant, and I put it in the section with, say, the Chinese money plant and all the other plants that was from that region, and the plant stopped dropping the leaves.
Wow.
But the plant was almost bald before I was able to get that.
Wow.
But it stopped. It stopped. It immediately stopped. Like it had, and then it started to sprout new leaves. It really did.
Right. Somebody asked, do you know how I can care for orchid plants? There's your thing right there. Go ahead.
Well, orchids are very, very special. Not that all the plants aren't special, but they're a special type of plant. And you have orchid connoisseurs, you have orchid experts, there's orchid food, orchid soil. There's a lot that goes into that. Some people say they like to be root bound. So you don't want to repot them and put them in a big, pot to give them too much room. They don't like that. They like to stay. If you're going to repot it, you go a little bit more than the pot that it came in. They love moisture to a certain degree. I have some orchid plants. The flowers will come off because they do have their own season. Everything has its own season for producing its flower or producing its fruit. It's just not just going to fruit for 12 months. It's just not going to do it. So it has its season. The flowers will go through their rotation, and then it'll leave a bald stem and beautiful leaves at the bottom. You can cut the stem when it dries, and you can continue to water the orchid roots, water them, like say maybe once every 2 weeks. And by that next spring, you're going to see it's going to send up another shoot and it's going to start flowering again. So it's just a matter of being patient with orchids, just being patient with them. And any plant that you're going to repot, don't go from a little tiny pot to a really huge pot. It's too much room, and that in itself can kill the plant.
Wow.
Yeah. So you just have to go up gradual. Just go gradual, not. I made that mistake a lot of times, and I learned. Someone's asking, what are the uses of the Wonder World plant? I know that it's great for medicine. It's good for sinuses. It's good for headaches. It's good for sleep. It's good for cleaning the inside of the body. It's another one of those plants that is just like a heal all, a cure all. But you have to be practicing when you hear somebody say something like something is a cure all or a heal all. It doesn't mean that this thing is just a miracle. You're just going to get one leaf and you're going to eat it, drink it, chew it, digest it, and that's going to be it. The whole lifestyle, your whole mentality, what you feed yourself by what you're looking at, what you hear, what you surround yourself with. It's such a discipline. It's such a discipline to healing yourself. And I feel like a lot of people, we can get into a rut of collecting healing information, collecting the information. What will you do with the information once you receive it? Like, when do you put down the notes and decide to get up and practically apply what you just got the answer to? What will you do with the answer?
Right. Question, are there certain plants best for Pisces or to keep around us in our homes, or for birth signs in general? Any science between plants and birth signs?
Well, I'll tell you like this. If you go to my Instagram, which is Houseplant Diary.
Hold on, let me write that down.
I have about 80-something,000 followers on that one.
Plant.
And if you roll back, you got to go back a couple of years now, get you a cup of tea. And I put the entire zodiac I put the entire zodiac system and the plants that resonate with each sign. I've also put plants for men, plants for women. It's all there on Houseplant Diary. You just got to do the research. It's there. I've put it out for you. I didn't retain it because I've got so much else up here. I have to go way back in the Rolodex, but it's right there for you, and you're welcome to the information.
Wow. One person asked, I've always loved plants, but during the pandemic, that's the majority of my purchase during the pandemic.
My store became a plant store during the pandemic because I feel we sold more plants than we did products every week. And
and look, I'm showing it online here.
Yeah, we got lots of beautiful plants, and I repot all of the plants before I sell them. So I set the plants up to succeed before you take them home and not know what to do after that. I give you instructions as you're walking out the door, what to do with this plant. Because I won't leave you on your own with it, because I want those plants to survive as well. You know, I'm sort of connected to them. So if you're taking these babies from my store, you better know that I'm going to help you make sure. It's like I'm grandmother to those plants. So I want to see pictures. I want to see updates in your stories. I want to see how these plants are growing. Put a ruler next to it. If it had 3 leaves, you show me about 6 leaves now. Where did you put it in your apartment? I want to see the whole thing. But
she's right. She's true. She's true to what she do.
But I want to say some more about the numerology and how it's helped. You know,
and the astrology. Don't forget about Samuel, my brother. Samuel Reynolds.
Yes. Let me tell you, these sciences, these arts, they're so important in our lives, in our everyday, every week, every month lives, based on your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising. You know, get to know yourself. There's so much to minding your own business, like the business of yourself. There's so much to study. We are such mysteries unto ourselves. But if you sit down and you study yourself, that's what know thyself is all about. You won't have time for a whole lot of other things like challenges and stuff. We are a challenge. We are a challenge in ourselves trying to figure out. And some of the ways that I've been privy to learning about myself and being able to look down the road and follow some divine guidance and be in with divine alignment is through astrology. I've been seeing my friend Samuel Reynolds for over 15 years. And what he does is a lot of times I would call him up. I have a question about something. I have an inner knowing about it, because if you're listening into yourself, you do get the downloads. But then you want to know someone who's tapped in another way, if they can confirm it for you. That's what the readings are all about, going to get the confirmations. That's what they're ultimately all about. They're not spookism. They're not going to, give you any woo-woo information. It's all ultimately aligning with yourself and making sure that you are still on that life path that you incarnated here to be on. Are you following your passion? Have you veered off? And, how do you get back on? So I would have a question or something that I'm looking into, and I would go to Samuel and have him read my chart. And 9 out of 10, it would be a confirmation. I'd say, yes, I'm already doing that. Yes, I was thinking about that. Oh, good. It's nice to know that confirms that works out. And then I would leave feeling like, yes, yes. A lot of times it was always like I was on there.
And I want to say this about Brother Samuel. Samuel is a Muslim. And a lot of people don't think that Muslims practice astrology, but he understands you're not supposed to worship it. It's for a guide. See, once you got going into the higher esoteric knowledge of Islam or Christianity or anyone or Hebrews or Judaism, you'll find that there's a higher spirituality that understands all of these modalities, can help guide you to make you a better person in Islam. I've prayed alongside Samuel at the masjid in Brooklyn. So him and I, we talk about this. His astrology made my numerology better, just like Lloyd astronumerology made my numerovation, because I do numerovation. I created my own system Just like I'll say Brother Panic or Brother Bobby Hemmett made my numerovation better. Dr. Africa said, look at numbers and all this from a holistic perspective. And you go into his book, his new book, textbook of African holistic health, teaches numerology in it now, medical numerology and medical astrology in his new textbook. And he's doing the domino effects that the gypsies used to do. He shows that, and that's the like the extra 200 more pages that Dr. Africa has in the book. And he always said to me, if y'all look on the interview he did with me on his channel, he said he asked me all the different questions about different things and relating to colors and health and all that kind of stuff. And Dr. Africa understood that. But also Samuel, this is his website, unlockastrology.com. He's been on the Karen Hunter show lately, dropping down each side. Karen Hunter and I used to work for each other. Karen Hunter is the ghostwriter for Wendy Williams. So her and I used to work on radio, but astrology is your latitude and your longitude of who you are. Your latitude and your latitude and longitude of who you are. Numerology helps to bring that cycle and understand the cycles and see. So everything works together. So please proceed. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I went to Samuel. He was a spiritual doctor. That was a spiritual doctor to go get a checkup. It's same with checking in with King Simon. That's going to your spiritual doctor to go get a checkup. Check, where you are, where, are you roaming around out there aimlessly because you don't have to, because you do have a manual, and you need to find the people who are tapped in that way to help read out that manual for you. And as you were saying, Brother King Simon, that, spiritualizing the numbers, you have been able, with all of your studies, been able to give each number, pull out the spirit in each number. So when you do your numerovation, it's bringing numbers to life. You told me some things, and I'll share a story. I went to look for an apartment. And that's one of your favorite stories, right? I went to look for an apartment, and I was divinely guided to this apartment, but I still needed to check. You still want to check and cross all your T's and dot all your I's. Based on the apartment number, everything was good. The space, the neighborhood, everything. When I told the owner, I need to make a phone call, I got to call a man about some numbers. And I called Brother King Simon, and I gave him the address to the place. And he said, yes, he gave me the green light on it. It was a go. He told me the things that would happen there. Like it was 360. So it was a 9. And interestingly enough, I was on the tail end of a lot of the 5 challenges. I was, duking it out with the 5s, and I was on the tail end. And you said I was going to move from that 5 home, and I couldn't even see a move happening. I was living in this whole house. It's like I couldn't even fathom this move that you were talking about. But you told me things with the pipes and the sink would always get backed up. There would always be a leak. The basement was flooding, and you told me all of those things based on the address of the home. And so one morning I just woke up. Spirit said, "It's time for you to go," and I didn't even question it. I just called the landlord. He made some phone calls. Next thing you know, I was at this other apartment, the same. I called Brother King Simon, and he said, yes, that 9, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And sure enough, it was the catapulting. It was the end of a chapter that was about to open up a new chapter. And now if I have been disobedient to the guidance, I really, truly wouldn't be where I am now. And I have my guides, my friends who are practitioners in these sciences.
You know what's so funny in this? That 360 was the address, remember?
Yeah.
And 3 is your life path.
Yes.
6 is connected to the sign of Libra.
Yes.
And when you added up to 9, your alignment number was a number 9. So you had it all there. You already had it in there.
The 6 was the healed and the healer. And then in a little short while, I was amazingly moved across the street to 357.
Yes.
And we added those numbers. When I told you about that, you said, the 6 again about the Libra and the healed and the healer.
The healing. And look what you're doing at this store.
And then 3 months later,
Yep.
they gave me the download about, we moved you here because your store is downstairs. And I was like, what store? What are you talking about? And then the store was right around the corner downstairs.
This is it right here, people. Yes. This is the store right here.
And the address to the store is also 357, the same as my home.
Exactly. And it's a number stacks up to 15, which is the 6. Yep.
The 6. So it's been consistent. It's been consistent. And I've been a consistent student and listening. And whenever, no matter how strange it seems, I trust, I get the guidance and I move with it, and it's been successful. And I recommend folks study yourself, contact these practitioners or other practitioners that you know who are, practicing these sciences, have studied them deeply, has allow their spirit to feed them and teach them more. As I learn and continue to trust in, what the universe has in store for me, and continue to walk that path, to not be afraid, to stand strong in my knowing, based on what I've already learned about myself, what I've already studied and unlocked about myself. It just seems a lot easier now. I don't feel like I'm cluttering in the dark, climbing through the darkness. I feel like I can see the light, and it's a calm, it's a peaceful freedom that I'm experiencing these days. The store is doing really well. You had Sister Nawasha and Mancho on tonight, the creators, the originators of the Acoma Day, Cultural Alternative to Valentine's Day. Well, they anointed me back in 2015, I think. One of the ambassadors, I'm a Brooklyn ambassador for Acoma Day. And we're holding space for Acoma Day in my store, starting the first weekend. We're doing 2 weekends of February. And what I've been doing is teaching anyone, all walks of life. I've been speaking Acoma for the last 2 weeks. And they said, what is that? And I'll tell them, it has 7 principles, just like Kwanzaa. We use the same candle holder with the 7 candles. You've got 3 red candles, 3 pink candles, and 1 white candle in the middle. And each day you observe another virtue or another principle that is strengthening for you, which is strengthening to the unity of your relationship. So it's always, it's not just about shopping. It's not just about buying and giving gifts, but it's about learning how to be more balanced within yourself so that you can be more balanced within your unity, within your community as well. Because you teach a woman or you teach a man, it's all about nation building. And we need each other so much more these days to be strong, to be balanced, mind, body, and spirit. Now we need spiritual warriors. We need healthy warriors. We need each other to be walking next to each other and to be healthy. We need to be breathing.
And somebody just asked a question. Should we replant hanging plants?
You can leave your hanging plants in the basket that they come in. Well, okay, this is what I suggest. Before I answer that question, carefully pull the hanging plant out of the basket and look at the roots. If there's more roots than soil, yes, because there's nothing in there. There's nothing for the plant to thrive from. There's no food, there's no nutrient. So you'd have to go up just a little bit bigger than the pot that it came in and replant it. Yes.
Okay. Another question. Have you received communications from plants or trees telepathically? I can say I have. Because sometimes I train on trees, martial arts, and I usually give them a hug and say, can I train? And if I feel that there's a thing that they don't want to be trained on, I'll move to the next tree.
Well, I'll say like this.
When I get hurt, I'll get hurt.
To do my clients' hair in the backyard. When I lived over on Dean Street in Nostrand, I had a backyard area. And I noticed that where I would stand, because the backyard, first of all, when I received the backyard, it was a place that was just collecting garbage. So I had some people come in and cleared it for me, created a clear slate, get rid of the old shopping carts, the old Boots TV monitors. I mean, computer monitors, old TVs, just moved all the garbage out. And then I created a sacred garden in the back. And I put up a gazebo. I set up my table, a place for my products. I grew flowers, vegetables, things like that out there. But the place where I would stand to groom the hair, a certain patch of herbs, wild herbs, started growing around my feet. And it wasn't, it was because I had been studying with Priestess Empress Tyoma Allison, who I've walked with for over almost 10 years, walking with her to learn about wild herbs in the park. And I also teach wild herbs now, what you can use for magic, what you can use for healing, for cleansing, for medicine, for teas, for food. So I noticed that white clover, which is the cousin of red clover, were growing around my feet. So it let me know that whichever nutrients that plant provides, woman healing herbs, that's what I needed to take in more of at that time. See, when you walk, and I was walking barefoot out there, so the ground that I was walking on was actually taking measurement or biorhythmic readings of my being, my body, like x-rays, and it was letting me know what I needed. The woman next door, she was dealing with high blood pressure, and what she had growing in her yard a lot was a wild garlic or wild chives. Now we know that wild chives or garlic, that's good for helping to address and manage blood pressure and for detoxing the blood. So she was getting what she was needing in her backyard. And when I told her about it, she goes, I'm not going to eat that. And I was like, why not? You know, you're growing cucumbers and tomatoes and basil and other things. And she said she wasn't going to eat it because she didn't plant it, because it was growing wild. It was growing wild and she didn't know. But I'm like, but I'm telling you, you know, you can trust me. You know, we're sharing cucumbers. I'm passing you things over the fence. You're passing me, like, pass me those garlic chives if you're not going to use them, because I'm going to use them. And she did. She wanted nothing to do with those because she didn't plant them. She didn't trust them. But nature gives us what we need. You'll notice if you come out to Prospect Park with either me or Mama Tyoma Allison in early spring, we teach that the herbs that the wild herbs that Mother Earth sends up first out of her womb, because she's sleeping right now, and that's part of the shrouding. Like we need to be a certain amount of in so we can cocoon ourselves and strengthen ourselves before we come back out again and be depleted. You know, you got to go in to come out. It's like the earth breathes in and out. So the first herbs that come up are mucosal cleansing herbs, upper respiratory cleansing herbs, blood cleansers, things like that, because she knows that we've taken in some extra fat, some extra mucus, some extra breads, you know, things that would make us a lot more heavier and congested. So it's such a cyclical nature, how Mother Nature, she's just amazing, how she's going to give us what we need to cleanse so that we don't get allergies, so that we're not allergic to grasses and pollen and things, because that's not natural. That's only happening because we're filled with what we ate from Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. We're filled with all of that. And you know the consistency of those foods, the pies, the cakes, the macaroni and cheese, the beans, you know the song, you name it. So when you take all of that and go into the spring, you're all stuffy, you're all congested, you're all toxic. So now you're going to get rash when the sun comes out and it's too hot because your insides are clogged, your blood is stagnated, your circulation is off, you're full of mucus, you can't breathe. So now you're allergic to spring. And then you don't want to go into the sun because the parasites inside your body are kicking up a certain environment that make you uncomfortable in the heat, because it's 100 degrees outside and almost 100 degrees inside. You have to be uncomfortable. You must be uncomfortable. So you don't want to walk in the sun or go sit in the sun and go charge your melanin. So right there, when you realize that you cannot do that, you cannot withstand the sun that's supposed to be feeding you, that's the illness right there. That's the underlying issues right there before anything else can be spoken about. Those are the underlying issues. So get rid of what you did and what you put inside yourself over the holidays, so that when spring comes, you're ready to be lightened up and ready to flow and ready to receive spring. which, by the way, is my real new year. You know, I had just been saying happy 2021 because I know for a fact that the new year is March 20th coming. You know, the new year is when the earth warms up and Mother Earth just sends up all these shoots for me to cleanse myself, for me to be healthy again. That's the new year. That's a new birth.
That's beautiful. Okay, Sam, you saying something? We can't hear you.
Yeah, you can't hear me? Oh, well, no, yes. I was about to get ready. Any last closing words, my beautiful sister? What's going on? What would you like to tell our audience before we
okay. Yes. Well, first and foremost, thank you, sister. Thank you, Brother King Simon. Make sure you all check out this mini documentary, you know, so that when it's on Channel 13, you can say you've seen it when on the King Simon Show. And come into the store on every Friday, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., every Saturday, 10 to 7, every Sunday, 10 to 4. You know, come in. I just share the consultations. If I find that it's something that we need to go deeper into, you know, we can set up a health consultation with me. I do consultations over the phone or a video chat. I've been doing that on the days that I'm not actually in the shop, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm very, very active doing wellness consultations, whether it's for your hair, your body, or spiritual growth or anything like that. So come in and chat me up, come get the products for your hair. These products are so much more than just cosmetics, and they've been proven themselves to be that during this quarantine and this pandemic. They've become household items for people to have, like you must have toilet paper, you must have dish detergent, you must have some ancient blends oils for your hair, the facial moisturizer, the teas to drink. There's a tea for healthy hair, skin, and nails. That's just what I sell it for, and that's the advertisement of it. But you know, deep down inside, herbs are for so much more than just what it's made up of is peppermint and ginger to address the stagnation, the poor circulation in your whole body. Then you have the burdock to cleanse the liver and the bloodstream, which is going to clear your skin. People always ask me about my skin, and I say, I'm drinking this tea, I'm eating this, I'm taking bitters. I also sell bitters. Bitters, it's just a recipe of all the bitter herbs and barks and leaves and flowers that you can think of, put in a bottle. And so I sell that. I take this tonic every day. Sometimes I take 2 shots per day. So drink a lot of water. You should be drinking half your body's weight in ounces of water every day. So come in and learn some things about how to take care of yourself. Come in and purchase the products. And like I said, we're honoring Akoma Day, the cultural alternative to Valentine's Day, the first and the second weekend of February for 3 days, the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 2 weekends. My daughter, Healthy Healers _T on Instagram, she will be there with her candles. Also, she has teas and other magical products as well that, you know, her passion she's sharing. And the community, all walks of life in this community. It's a gentrified neighborhood. I remember Tompkins Avenue like 10, 15 years ago, that it looks completely different. They're calling Tompkins Avenue Black Girl Magic Street because there are about 16 or 17 Black-owned, women-owned stores on this street. And each one of us is so unique and we're so connected. We're sending customers to each other. They'll come in, they'll say, do you sell eucalyptus? No, my sister down the street, she sells the eucalyptus. They'll go to my sister down the street. Do you have dragon blood sage? No, Yendys down the street has a dragon blood sage. And we're, you know, this is how we're eating. This is how we're feeding each other. You know, there's a committee called Building Black Bed-Stuy, and they're up the street at the coffee shop right on the block next to me. They created a block party, several block parties earlier in September, because a lot of the businesses couldn't pay their rent. And they created a way for everyone to eat. They created a way for everyone to be able to pay their rent by hosting these block parties, you know? And so we're taking care of ourselves as well as we're trying to take care of each other during this pandemic. We're holding each other accountable. We're mainly supporting each other and taking care of ourselves as well, not working ourselves to death not being afraid of the unknown, learning things, going to other people who that's their area of expertise so that we can learn also. So open up to the knowledge, open up to the wellness, open up to your self-care, to your higher self. Continue to honor your ancestors. Dr. Baba Laila Africa, he left a wealth of work for us. We don't need to ask anybody a whole lot of stuff. You can be your own practitioner. As King Simon says, the work is there. Our sister Melanie is there. Tap in. There's so many of us here. Reach out. We're here to help you help yourself, because we're not going to heal you. We're going to hold space and point you in the directions. And don't be afraid to do your own research. Don't just live off of every single thing that all of us say. We can guide you. We can drop a gem in. But please, we've done the work and we've paid good money for this work. We sat at the feet before there were computers and all these apps and all this Google where you can easily find out. We didn't have smartphones in our hands. We sat and we read these books and we drew this book. I put tape in it tonight because I didn't want to embarrass myself that when I picked it up, the pages would fall out. So I sat here during your early segment and picked it up because books are used. We use these books. We studied. Don't be afraid to study, because when you study, it's that thing about teach a man to fish. We're not giving you the fish. It's your fish to go get, and this way you come by it honestly. It's not because somebody regurgitated to you. We can't heal you. You have to heal yourself, but we're here to assist. We have the tools. We can help you.
Well, that is wonderful. Want to give her a well-deserved round of applause, of course.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Of course,
Yes.
all of the information, please contact her. You can text her 347-635-3676.
I'm going to contact you myself.
Yendys, as is at Yahoo. Her online store is shopancientblends.com. Her other website is charleschild.com. Instagram, Ancient Blends, ApotheCare, and of course, Cash App is $Yendys Nefer-Atum. Make sure you show her love.
Thank you.
Show her love.
I hope everyone received, whatever they needed, and everybody that was meant to be here was within the building.
Yes. And thank you so much for what you do. Definitely, you be safe out there. And I know you travel between there and Atlanta. And big up to your daughters doing big things. One just
Yes.
And the other one, what's the name of your daughter's book? Your oldest daughter's book?
Coffee in the Morning on Amazon. It's a dog with pink feet and my daughter with her pink hair. And she just wrote her first book in a series of many. And I've been editing my book. I'm soon to follow. I'm hoping to birth something in the new year, which is March 20th. I'm trust. Yeah.
Right. And of course, your youngest daughter has her own business also.
Yes. And Healthy Healers _T on Instagram. She will be at Ancient Blends ApotheCare for those 2 weekends for Akoma Day. She will be there with me.
Well, I hope to get both of them on this airwaves because I know them for so many years, especially the older one I know definitely for many years. But I want to get her and the younger one because I think that'll be a support mechanism for that one. Yeah,
that would be nice to get her on there. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
But those people born on the 29th, they something else. Oh gosh, they never want to get on. Like Naja Ray, she's a 29 baby and never want to get on my airwaves. But they like their shyness, so I understand.
Yes. Well, y'all get to see her. Come over and visit us the next 2 weekends of February, and you'll get to see her in person. She's great in person.
The male 29, like Joshua Sarah, they jump on real quick. The male 29, they totally different, man. And because even Ma'a from Dr. Sabi's wife, she's shy about it too. She's like, oh, really? Come on. But give a round of applause to your whole family for doing what they're doing. And thank you very much. Love your sister. You be safe. Have a good evening.
Yes. Peace and love.
And you be safe, and we'll talk. All right.
Okay. All right.
Oh man, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I hope you enjoyed yourself, my dear.
I did. I'm looking forward to going there for Kuma Day.
Yeah, go over there. It's going to be nice. Those two that we had on before on the relationship tip, yeah, they going to be there. So that's going to be very powerful couple when you see them. And all this is information on of Yendys. And of course, that's just close up and personal. Of course, let's big up, of course, our co-host here, the one, the only Empress Aisha Moore. I want to thank her, of course, and her services. Y'all wanna lighten up the services and get to her services. Make sure you check her out. Everybody's doing their own form of work. Doing their own form of work. Make sure you hit up all the social media outlets, or PayPal, and Cash Apps, and all that good stuff. Email her. Show us some spread love energy. And let me make sure that these sponsors are looking good before we do this prayer. Okay, so we gotta make sure. Once again, we're saluting Dr. Laila Africa. We just make sure you hit him up on his all his different outlets too, to get in contact with his wife. That's all of it on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook also, let me see what I do. I have it here somewhere. You can continue to support the legacy of him and his beloved wife, LailaAfrica.com. PayPal, use Dr. Melanie 16 at Yahoo, and Cash App at $charleschild. And then you can get that and get all the books that they have on there. They got a lot of books still. He's still got a lot of his material out there. A lot of his products is going well. And again, support Sister Empress and Priestess Yendys. Please support her. This is all her information also. And let's go through, of course, tomorrow I will be on Happy Film. I'll be on happyfilm.com tomorrow at 7 o'clock. I'll be on their show tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So I can't wait to hang out with Felicia and Taki and all the stuff that they do. Thank y'all. In February, we got Dr. Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz coming in February 7th, the book of Khalid Abdul Muhammad, the book of Khalid Muhammad. Very interesting book, very thick ass book, and it's a lot of information. And it's so familiar with this book is because I was there during certain times with Dr. Khalid and all that. I brought him to Canada. We worked with him at the FOI and the Nation of Islam. So this is going to be quite an interview. And he said I can ask him anything I want. So, yeah, we go ask. All right. Remember, my book is available on, of course, on KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com, and of course, the soft covers at Amazon. The hardcover is at KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. Soft covers on Amazon. Our beautiful Empress here, she got her beautiful orgasmic material and the earrings. You got to show some love. Spread love. She got them on right now. She got some of her stuff on right now, doing her thing.
Yes.
Make sure you show love to Janelle Lewis, real estate and consultant on real estate. You want to get your first real estate. You want to buy some new real estate. 347-866-1153. Lloyd Strayhorn. Remember, boom, hit him up on his website, lloyd-strayhorn.com. Take his classes, his beginner's classes and his intermediate class on numerology, please, astronumerology. And before you take my class, because my class is going a whole nother direction, but we're going to still be based on numbers. All right. It's holistic numerovation course. Learn the BAT method. That's going to be off the hook, of course. And don't forget pedalwise.com. Pedalwise.com. Great products, great service, great consultation, great things happening with Pedalwise. And if you want that 10% discount on the stuff that are not already on sale on her website, please use the coupon code KING. KING represents the king. King Simon in the building. That's right, King 21. The coupon code is King 2021. Go to www.pedalwise.com. That's www.pedalwise.com. And tell them I sent you. And go get those. This is the antiviral thing that I got from her. Very good. Let me take this off the screen. Very good. This right here. This is what I got from them. Very good. and it's called a broad spectrum antiviral with elderberry, ginseng, with vitamin C. Very good stuff. And I take it before I go to sleep. And since I'm about to go to bed, take it right now. Take it right now in front of y'all. It's good. It gets straight in. I take it under the tongue. You put it under the tongue, it goes right where it got to go and do what you got to do. Okay, so that, and if you want to do a numerovation session with me, if you live outside of the United States, let me say it to the person in the back of the whole United States of America. If you live outside of the United States, use WhatsApp. If you live outside of the United States, use WhatsApp. I'll say it again. If you live outside of the United States, use WhatsApp. But if you live, I'm saying it to the person in the club. If you live inside of the United States, just text me at 347-496-1022. My goodness, some people just don't listen. I'm being honest. Some people just don't listen. They be living right up the block and they still texting me through WhatsApp. And of course, please like, share, and subscribe to King Simon Presents and the Numerovation Nation on YouTube. And remember, my website is kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Are you ready for the prayer, my young lady?
Yes, yes.
One thing, let me just say, content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guests, speakers, and authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcaster and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised.
Yes, right.
Do what we gotta do. Right? We got back to back.
Back to back. Got your back. Got your back.
All right, so this is the prayer from Dr. Delbert Blair, and his transitional day is coming up on the 31st. So it's been 3 to 4 years since he transitioned, and we probably do a quick salute to my brother, Dr. Delbert Blair. But if you want to continue to support Dr. Delbert Blair's legacy, please go to the official website, www.themetacenter2.com. That's www.themetacenter2.com. Got the books. It got his ELF protector still on there. Tony is keeping the products with proper integrity. Magnet, he worked with magnets a lot. I have a magnet from Dr. Blair that was very good and efficient and still works. And he does magnet therapy and all that. So please support Dr. Blair's website. We got the Faraday materials there and all that kind of stuff. Faraday materials are very good material to block against all electronic bull craps inside your room and all that. You could even buy the Faraday cover for your bed cover, bedspread. They got all of that on Dr. Blair's site. So let's get ready for prayer. Prayer time, family.
Prayer time.
It's the saying in the Nation of Islam. Prayer time. Prayer time. All right, my sister, go ahead. You lead the prayer and make it happen.
Okay, give thanks. Please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth and your love now.
That was so beautiful. Give thanks. Alhamdulillah. Shukran jazilan. My family, thank you very much. Shalom. Black power.
Yes, the whole everything.
One aim, one destiny. Thank you very much, Aisha. Thank you very much. Give her a round of applause for being so special and beautiful. Thank you very much. And give your children big old hugs for me.
Yes, we all gonna send you one too. There's your hug.
I'm putting myself out with it.
Give you a hug.
I'm with that. Okay. All right. We'll talk later. All right. Take care, beautiful.
Okay.
All right. Peace. Yes, that was our beautiful sister, Empress Aisha Moore. Thank you very much for being a part of the journey, and everybody that came on. Sister Yendys, big up to you. Thank you very much. Thank all of y'all for tuning in. All the questions y'all provided for us. Thank you very much. That was very insightful. I got a very smart and wise audience out there. Kafunya, thank you very much for the great program. Thank you very much. Pray peace, everybody. How's it going? Yes, Hadia, what's up, Hadia? Good night, everybody. Yes, I'm so glad we had this time together. just to have a laugh and sing some songs. We had to salute our Baba, Dr. Laila Africa. And it's time for us to say so long. Dr. Africa, love you in that ancestral realm and all the great ancestors that have left us before, the Dr. Ben, the Dr. Clark, the Dr. Francis Cress Wells, and the Marcus Garvey, the Dr. Khalid Muhammad, the Harriet Tubmans, the Sojourner Truth, all of the great ancestors, your ancestors, my ancestors, they surround us, they work from within us through our bloodline. Let's honor our ancestors and remember who they are and what they are. Your own bloodline, not just biblical and scriptural bloodline. Follow your own because you are a walking book. Don't forget that. I love y'all, people. I'm out of here. King Simon is out of here. Let me close out and just say bye. See y'all next time. Make sure y'all get the book, Numerovation for Mental Stability. It's all from the heart. Peace.